and giving corrections is something a lot of us struggle with, because sometimes we humans are filled with pride, ego, and some sort of us feeling like, oh, who are you to tell me what to do? Who are you to correct me? And the feeling of us being wrong can be distorting, can be annoying actually. So we have issues with actually receiving corrections when we are corrected. And also, some of us don't know how to give corrections. We don't know how to tell people what is right and how to tell people that, okay, this is the right path you should take and not this path. Some of us are so rude with how we give corrections to people, and that is what I'll be addressing in today's video. So welcome once again to Matty-speaks. As you all know, my name is Martina Ayomiko Sheo, and my baptismal name is Mary, anyone you want to call me. And also, before moving into this video, I'd like to tell you guys that I'm moving back to school hostel, and I won't be able to shoot videos in my house, my parents' house anymore. So I have to shoot some of my videos in school. So please bear with me while I'm in school. I promise to try to give you the best content I could ever get. And getting on into today's video, we're talking about receiving and giving corrections, like I mentioned earlier. So now let's look at some of the verses in the Bible. I made my research and I saw that in Proverbs 19 verse 20, Proverbs 15 verse 32, and Proverbs 12 verse 15, it buttressed the point on correction and receiving corrections. And it, from my understanding of the scripture, it made me understand that if you do not receive correction, if you do not take corrections, you are a fool. And there are a lot of things that comes into play when it comes to receiving correction. So that is what I'll be focusing. I'll be focusing on those who are to receive correction before focusing on those who are given corrections. So to begin with, there are a lot of things, like I mentioned earlier, that could cause us not to be able to receive corrections the right way. Sometimes it could be pride, sometimes it could be ego, sometimes it could be anything can just make us feel like, oh, we don't need this person's corrections and the like, especially when that person is not accountable for you, especially when that person has no authority over you. A random person coming into your life, a grown-up person, a grown-up individual coming into your life and then telling you that, oh, what you're doing is wrong, why not just do it this way? You'll feel like a bit of resentment and be like, who are you to, so it takes a level of understanding to understand that when someone comes to tell you that this is the right path for you to take, this is what you should do, we should learn to receive it with love, because that person had our best interest at heart. So we should try to receive these corrections with love whenever anyone, even if it's a child, when they come to tell us that, oh, this and so and so and so is what we've done, we should try to listen and adhere to those corrections. So to begin with, how do I receive correction? We should make sure that, number one, is to make sure that the correction is coming from the right source. Yeah, so a lot of people correct people for various and stupid reasons. Sometimes it could be from a place of jealousy. Let's assume you are someone who likes to cover up and you like to dress modestly, and then someone who likes to open a cleavage and some part of our body comes to you and be like, oh, don't dress this way, wear this. So you have to understand, you have to be able to discern between a good correction and the wrong correction. In that case, it doesn't apply to your values and your morals as a person or as a lady. So you have to sit back and be like, oh, no, this is not the kind of corrections that I want to take. So you have to be able to discern the right and the wrong, the right correction from the wrong correction. Understand the source of that correction. Is it coming from the place of love? Is it coming from the place of hate? Is it coming from the place of destruction? So understand that, oh, okay, be able to discern in your spirit that this is what I'm going to take and this is what I'm not going to take. Then moving on to the second one, examine yourself, check yourself. And not, like I mentioned, I think I've mentioned this a couple of times earlier in this video, that most of us are so proud and arrogant when it comes to us receiving correction, especially when we're in a place of authority. For instance, if you are a teacher and a student come to you and be like, oh, madam, why not try this way? Why not do it this way? I feel like if you do it this way, it will be better. I'm afraid, ma, you are doing this thing wrong in this way. And some of us might feel like, oh, who are you to come tell me what to do? Who are you to correct me? So we should try to examine that we are not coming, that even if we're going to rebuke, or if we're going to rebuke that correction, it shouldn't be coming from a place of pride, arrogance, or egoism, and anything of that sort. So we should check ourselves, check our art, and we should not throw away corrections anyhow. We should be able to listen and receive. And if it's not sitting well with us, we should check ourselves to know, okay, why is this not sitting well with me? Is it because I feel like it's a wrong type of correction, or it's because, oh, I feel proud and angry at the fact that a younger one came to correct me on what to do. So we should try to see that, oh, even if we're going to rebuke that correction, it's coming from a place of a better understanding, not from a place of arrogance or pride. Third one, as a Christian, we should be able to ask ourselves, does this correction line up with the will of God for my life? So for instance, someone comes to you and tells you that, oh, let's go smoke. I would advise you to smoke. I would advise you to take alcohol. I would advise you to do XYZ that against the will of God. And you know that this is against the will of God. You should be able to say no. You should be able to say no to some corrections. It's not everything anybody comes to tell you, especially when they're not your parents, or especially when they're not your parents, they're not your pastors, they are not your leader in church, they're not your aunt or your uncle, anybody that you know that, oh, this person, like, I would be able to listen to them anytime, any day. So you should be very careful and have a high level of discernment to be able to tell what is right and what is wrong. So make sure that anything anybody comes to tell you to work on is in alignment with the will of God, is in alignment with what the Lord said about you that you should do. So, and also the fourth one, if another thing that I would advise in order for you to receive corrections is to take it to the place of prayer. There are some things that they're naturally a part of us, and when someone tells us that this part of you is wrong and I feel like you should work on it to be a better person, and then you are struggling with it because this character is something that you've had all your life. It's something that you've built all your life, and you're so used to this character and you really want to take that correction. So in that case, I would advise that you take it into the place of prayer. It is not just about listening and taking the correction, it's about doing it. So take it to the place of prayer. And if you don't feel convicted enough pertaining to that, especially when it's someone that you adore or someone you look up to, and you don't feel, and the correction doesn't sit well with you, it is better to just take it to God in prayer. Go and ask God that, oh God, what do you think about this correction? Holy Spirit, direct me. What part do you want me to take with this? And I am very sure it would put you through, it would teach you, it would tell you what to do. I am very sure about that. Then don't point fingers. The fifth one, a lot of us, when people correct us, we tend to look at their lifestyles. So imagine your good friend, we are like peers or people that are friends, or someone like a random person that you just consider an acquaintance. When they come to you and tell you that, oh, I don't like the way you spoke to your mom today, I don't like the way you spoke to your dad today, peradventure or probably the person doesn't speak right to his or our own parents, and then you begin to point fingers and be like, what about you? Do you talk well to your parents? Who are you to come and tell me, you that you don't have good characters with your parents, who are you to come tell me what to do? So let's try not to point fingers, because that particular thing might be something that God wanted us to receive, but immediately we rebuked it because, oh, we are looking at the person that is actually correcting us. But instead, we should take what we need from that person and utilize it in our own lives. Then maybe later in the future you can now advise that person, oh, okay, I also don't like the way you talk to your parents, so I'm also working on myself, and I'll also advise that you also work on yourself. That is okay, but instead of you pointing fingers and making them feel like, oh, okay, well, you were wrong in correcting me, that person will never correct you anymore, because they feel like, oh, I'm not righteous enough to actually talk to this girl. So let's just try to work on that aspect of us. Then moving on to giving correction. So like I said earlier, a lot of people don't know how to talk to people, and most of the times, especially like I said, especially when they are not people of authority in your life, people that they are not people that are sending you to school or feeding you or buying clothes for you, or like people that you know, that you look up to, that you do not joke with, and then maybe a random person just comes to you and start talking to you anyhow, you would feel bad. And so I'm talking to you, the giver of the correction. Check yourself as well. Is the correction you're about to give me or any person, is it coming from a place of love? Is it coming from a place of, oh, I love this person and I don't want to see you fall, I don't want to see you do this, I don't want to see you do XYZ, so I'm going to come to you and correct you. Don't use, there are some words as a giver of correction you're not supposed to use. Don't use words like, are you not supposed to know what to do? Like, I've had encounters like that before, where I was spoken to like, oh, are you not smart enough to know that this is wrong? And nobody is perfect, nobody is above mistakes. So when you are giving someone corrections, like, you shouldn't make it look like, oh, you're supposed to be good at this part. No, anybody can make mistakes, and it's okay if you go tell them that, okay, this path that you are taking, or this path that you're taking is not going to like make sense at the end of the day. So why not do it this particular way? Be careful with the words you use with people, because words really go a long way. We humans will separate, but the words you utter to me, the words you utter to anybody, your friend, they would keep remembering till eternity, either good or bad. So let's try to like work on the way we approach people when it comes to us trying to tell them what is right and what is wrong. So let's make use of our words. Let's be smart of our words like, oh, I feel this part would be better, or I'm afraid you are doing it wrong, or something that just makes them feel like, oh, okay, I think I want to listen to you and I want to like take heed of this correction. The third one when it comes to you giving corrections is to ask questions. So there are so many things that could cause anybody to do anything that they are doing. Someone who likes to party and you want to correct that person from partying, and you want to stop that person from partying, why not ask questions like, what made you like partying? Why are you so obsessed with partying up and down? Like, ask questions. I'm not saying partying is bad, but I'm just saying that maybe it's going out and wayward life is excessive and you do not like it, and then you want to help that person be better. Why not ask questions like, okay, so why did you start this? Why did this part begin in your life? I've met with someone who lived a slothful life growing up. She had a very terrible growth, like, as at my age, she had a very terrible growth process. She got indulged in a lot of alcohol, a lot of smoking, a lot of tattooing all over her body, and then she comes and tells me that, oh, be a good girl, listen to your parents, don't do this, don't do that. And at that point I saw that, oh, this is someone who regrets the path she took, or who regrets the life she's living, and now she's telling me that, oh, okay, be better. Immediately I just took that advice and kept it to myself. I did not see that, oh, you're living a wayward life, or you're taking alcohol, and you come and tell me not to. No, that's none of my business. Nothing concerns me with your life. As long as you've come to tell me what is right, I will take it wholeheartedly and look up to Jesus. Jesus is the ultimate example. Jesus is the only example we should follow. So nothing concerns us with anybody. Above all, we should try to take corrections when we are being corrected. Listen when it's necessary. Pray when it's necessary, and God will lead us through. He will see us through. So this is the end of today's video. Thank you so much. Please kindly like and subscribe. Hit the comment section. Send me your takes on this subject, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.